Tommy Baseball meets with the Dodgers for a contract extension. Well, Tommy Edman, but I affectionately call him Tommy Baseball. He meets with the Dodgers about extending his contract. Interesting stuff. We'll get to that story. Walker Buehler, did you know he lied to Mark Pryor right before he took the mound in Game 5 of the World Series? He literally lied to him. I got that story. That's coming up. And the Dodgers, it's official, like a referee's whistle. Dodgers sign a reliever from the Cards. Let's get down to business. Dodgers Digest, Tommy Edmonds, a.k.a. Tommy Baseball, meets with the Dodgers, a.k.a. MVP of the National League Series for contract extension. So that's pretty cool stuff. Look, if you're a Dodger fan, anytime there's an opportunity to keep Tommy Baseball on the team for numerous years, that's key. That dude means a lot to the team. And it's just crazy because he came off an injury, so no one really expected him to do a lot of big stuff because of his wrist injury. And he came up, got on the Dodgers, and bada boom. Next thing you know, he wins an MVP during the series, and not the World Series, but yeah, he continues to dominate. And it is awesome to have him, possibly to know that we're going to get him for multiple years. This is courtesy of MLB. So, they pulled their head outs and they're talking about the good stuff here. Dodgers have held preliminary extensions with talks with Tommy Edman. And this, of course, obviously quarter to MLB. They've had some preliminary dialogue. Nothing's worked out. He's already in for 2025. So Tommy Edman, relax, step away from the ledge. He is on the team for next year. What we want to see him is get locked in for longer. John Morosi, MLB, he was the one who broke the story. It's unclear how far those initial talks progressed because no one's speaking on it. We're just going to, you know, we're just going to talk about it. But there's no indication that a deal between the two sides is particularly close at this time. No, it's not. But I tell you what, he wants to be on the team. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that. And think about the age, 29 years old. It came part of that three-team swap between the Dodgers, the Cards, the White Sox. It brought Kopech to L.A., which that was pretty darn awesome, too. It sent Eric Fetty to St. Louis. But, you look at what he did respectively. The numbers are there. I mean, come on. He really came through. And for a guy you didn't know, because he had setbacks in rehab, so he wasn't all the way 100% ready. So I think the Cards were like, get rid of him. Let that be the Dodgers' problem. Well, it ends up being the Dodgers' problem in a very good way. So it's like, wow, good stuff for the Dodgers with that. Got to hope that right there, I'm hoping that goes through because you want to secure that dude at 29 years old and how important he is to that team, especially when we're still trying to figure out the final infield pieces for next year. I think he's solid, man. Got to like that. All right. Next story. Walker Buehler lied to Mark Pryor. Did you hear the story? Did you hear the story about this? Buehler lying to Mark Pryor before he took the mound in Game 5? Why would you lie to your coach, man? It's in the news, and it's true. I actually saw it on the podcast, Mookie's podcast. I saw him on there, and he told the story how he lied to Mark Pryor. How do you do that? Well, tell you what, that will be time for your Dodgers Digest quote of the day, and we'll take this one from none other than Walker Buehler. Here it is. Here's what Walker had to say. So Mark Pryor, the pitching coach, called down to the bullpen and said, "What the F are you doing down there?" I said, "I told you I'll be down here," and said y'all because he is from Kentucky. "I'll be down here." And he goes, and then Mark Pryor goes, "Have you thrown?" And he said, "I'm fine." And he hadn't thrown. So Walker hadn't even thrown, but yet he told Pryor, "No, I'm fine." He didn't necessarily say, "No, I haven't thrown yet," but he said he was fine to come into the game. And if you think about that just for a moment, Walker Buehler didn't have to show up for that game to be there. I mean, this is the guy, the epitome of a dude you want on your team, a dude ready to take the ball at any part. And look, they'd already gone through, what was it? Was it 7 pitches or 8 pitches they'd gone through? And then Walker's like, "Look, I can pitch on 2 days rest or something like that." So he could go back in and pitch. Any guy, I mean, how many pitchers would actually literally do that, right? How many pitchers, honestly, can you say that would want that ball in that position? And like, as a starter, to go in, and not just as a pitcher, like, yeah, you're a reliever, you're a closer, and you come into a game. I get that. And you want that ball because that's your job. You come in as that reliever, you come in as that closer, and that's what you want. You want the ball in those big moment situations where Walker Buehler's a starting pitcher who had just pitched a few days ago. So he'd already pitched, and he wanted to come in as a reliever, as a closer, like it's a job that he has not done before. And so when a guy like that steps up to the mic and basically tells you that, yeah, I'll be ready. And the start of that game, or even before the game started, Walker had told Roberts, he goes, look, I'll be ready. I'll be in the bullpen if you need me. Wow. For him to say that, and then in that situation say, hey, look, I'm here. Mark Pryor's like, what the heck are you doing in the bullpen, man? But good story right there. So stoked to see Walker Buehler make that kind of decision. So, and that's the point. The Dodgers know he's a big game guy in big game situation, and he wants the ball. So he's a dude you need to sign, and they know that. And I've said it before. I've predicted a Walker Buehler signing with the Dodgers. I don't care what all the fluff says, all the stuff out there. Oh, he's going to go to the Yankees. He's going to go here. He's going to go. I don't care any of that, okay? You can keep that to yourself because I'll be the one celebrating because he will sign as a Dodger. And I said it before, I'll say it again. I will drink a full cup of coffee out of my stinky shoe if he is not a Dodger. I said the same thing about Teo, too. That's how confident I am that they will continue to be Dodgers. All right, let's get into it. Next story, Dodgers actually get a little signing action going, huh? Something official, liking to see this one. Dodgers signed once dominant reliever from the NL rival. We're talking about the Cards, where they got it from right-hander Giovanni Gallegos to a minor league deal. So he's been invited. He has been invited out to Dodgers spring training. So what happens, Brad J., if Gallegos makes it on the big league? Well, here's the story right here. He receives an invitation to big league spring training camp. Okay, the right-hander could earn $2.5 million base salary for making the big league roster. He can also earn another 1.5 in incentives. So, that could be wins, that could be strikeouts, that could be a lot. We don't know what that number is regarding. But we do know this. If he makes a team, he makes $2.5 million on the team as a reliever, right? And the guy's done it before. I mean, he recently in his 2024, you don't want to look at that. You want to look at 20 to 22 or 23. Definitely was handling it. 2-1 record in 24, 6.53 ERA. Wasn't pitching, which he is capable of doing. So there it is right there. He has been signed. Gallegos has been signed and invited to spring training to try and make the team. Would that give you an incentive? 2.5. Hey, if you pitch really good and make the team, you get $2.5 million, right? If you just make that roster at the end of spring training. So that's a pretty big situation. You're going to want to hold on to that. That is for sure. That's going to do it for Dodgers Digest for your Sunday. Brad J with you. Always remember, subscribe, like, and turn on those notifications. That's going to do it for me. Always remember to think blue.